I want to start by showing some pictures of people I know that happen to be bikers. They are mothers, they are fathers, they are bankers, managers, military veterans, um, and they're all around you. Do you want to be the reason that one of these bikers doesn't make it home to the people that care about them? I believe that every driver should have to take a driver's refresher course or a motorcycle safety foundation course. Many people will see this as a knowing extra step to getting or renewing their license. I feel the same way until I almost hit a biker because I wasn't paying attention to the road. Luckily for me, I was able to see him before it was too late. While you might not know someone who rides a motorcycle, you share the roads with them every day. I'm going to discuss some of the dangers for motorcyclists, why the fundamentals of the MSF course are important to everyone, and lastly, how every driver has the ability to save a life every time they get in their car. The dangers for motorcyclists are endless. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month 2018 fact sheet, funded research has shown that people behind the wheels of passenger vehicles are distracted more than 50% of the time. Distracted drivers is one of the biggest dangers for motorcyclists that's the easiest to fix. Cell phones while driving accounts for a big part of that. Texting and calling, we all know is a bad idea. When I interviewed Nicholas Horseman, who's an avid motorcycle rider, he stated, driving requires concentration. We can ride our bikes for hours without being on our phones. Try it. You'll see how easy it is. An app usage can also be just as bad as calling and texting. Plan ahead if you need to use GPS or an app to get somewhere and try to do everything beforehand so you're not futzing with it while you're driving. There are also other distractions that can happen in the car. Kids, other passengers, people asking you for or to show you a picture or I need a snack. There's a number of things that can be distracting in the car. Um, Ladies, this next one's for us. Most of us have put on makeup in the car. We need to make sure that we're more focused on the road and less on how we look. When I talked to Amy Beckman, who's been riding for about 6 years now, I asked her about putting on makeup in the car, and we both kind of laughed about it because I mean we both done it. Then she stated, "I've totally done this. I know I need to stop. It's hard. It's a hard habit to break, but I am working on it." Distractions can also be outside of the car. Road conditions are a major one. I don't know about you, but I always keep an eye out for potholes all year round in Wisconsin, apparently. The problem with potholes are that we tend to swerve around them. We don't always look to see who or what is in our path. According to the Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month 2018 fact sheet, allow more follow distance, 3 to 4 seconds, when following a motorcycle. This gives the motorcycle rider more time to maneuver or stop in case of emergency. Animals can also be a distraction. I know I do this too. I see an animal alongside the roadway and I look to see how many of them there are, what kind of animal it is, um, obviously causing distractions. The other distraction can be if an animal is deceased in the roadway, where we tend to swerve around them, again, not always paying attention to what is around us. There is an abundance of important information that every driver needs to know. The fundamentals of the MSF course are very important. The course teaches you where the best lane or best position is in the lanes for motorcycles, which are in the tire tracks of the car. Reason being that there's less chance of oil and other residue from the cars if you're in the tire tracks. Beckman states that she rides in the tire tracks because it is less likely to have debris in the tire tracks because that is where all the other vehicles travel down the road and their tires clear a path. As stated on or by the MSF website, 10 things all cars and truck drivers should know about motorcycles. Motorcycles often adjust position within a lane to be seen more easily or to minimize the effects of road debris, passing vehicles, and wind. Understand that they're not doing it for no reason. They have a purpose. They're not being reckless. Well, some of them might be, but most of them are not. So kind of be aware of that. Bikers often place themselves in view of both oncoming traffic and the cars that they are following. Horseman talked about this in our interview. He states he moves around to adjust for oncoming traffic and possible intersection where he wants to make his presence known to other drivers. Through the MSF course, drivers become aware of how a motorcycle must navigate the road. Some of you will complain about taking the MSF course. It can be pricey and takes up about 3 days of your time. Depending on who you take your course through, they do have a lot of different dates. So you can take it during the week, you can take it on the weekend, or a variation of the two of them. I know most of us cherish our weekends, but I feel it's a worthy sacrifice if it could save a life. The cost can vary depending on who you take your course through, anywhere from about $260 up to $340. Most will look at this cost and wonder why they should pay it if they never plan on riding on a motorcycle again. The reason is, while there's accidents that can't be prevented, how would you feel if you killed a motorcyclist and it could have been prevented? How much is that life worth? You can take an MSF course through almost any motorcycle dealership or technical college. Every driver has the ability to save a life every time they get in the car. Being more aware of your surroundings while you're driving is important. If we are able to remove simple driving errors, we will be less likely to cause an accident. When motorcyclists and other vehicles collide, it is usually the other non-motorcycle driver who violates the motorcyclist right away, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. When drivers make lane changes without checking their mirrors, motorcycles are easy to miss. They're small. They fit in your blind spot really easy. You really need to make sure that you go through and look twice. I'm sure most of us have seen all of these on Facebook where it says look twice and save a life. I have someone waiting at home. They all do. I'm sure we've seen it, especially this month with it being the Motorcycle Awareness Month. Okay, according to Horseman, when motorists don't signal when they move over, they don't realize that I was giving myself extra room in case I needed to avoid something. I can't always slow down as fast as I would like to. While some of us have the outlook that everyone should look out for themselves, I'm wondering how many overall accidents could be prevented if we all looked out and paid attention to each other. Obeying the rules of the road seems like an easy step to road safety. This would include being courteous to other drivers. I know I'm not always good at this part of it, but allowing others to merge. How many of us don't like to let other people in? They wait till the last minute, they get us all upset. I'm definitely guilty of this one. Looking back at it, I'm not really sure why though. If you let a couple cars in here and there, is it really going to affect your drive time? Besides your nerves, is it really going to ruin your day? Also, making sure that there's ample distance between your vehicle and the one in front of you. If you're slamming on your brakes, that means that everyone behind you has to slam on theirs, and that can cause an accident. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month 2018, safe riding practices and cooperation from all road users will help reduce the number of fatalities and injuries on our nation's highways. In conclusion, by taking an MSF course and removing all possible distractions while you're driving, you have the possibility of allowing someone to return home to the ones that they love. I'm going to share one last fact from the National Highway Safety Administration. In 2016, there was more than 5,200 motorcyclists killed in traffic crashes, a 5% increase from 2015. If we all understand the dangers for motorcyclists, it will make it easier for everyone to understand why the fundamentals of the MSF course are so important. And most important, that every driver has the ability to save a life every time they get in the car. I urge you to stop using your time in the car to put on makeup, to talking on the phone, texting, using your apps, letting anything distract you. Try to bring it down. I know it's not going to be easy to take all distractions away, but most of them. Remember, every driver has the ability to save a life every time they get in the car.